Today I have a vlog to share with you. I am now a vlogger, a vlogist. Vlogger is the better term. We're not going to call it a vlogist. Last weekend, I had the incredible opportunity to go on a brand trip to New York City, which was sponsored by Harper, Voyager, Epic Reads, and Avon Books. This was a really incredible trip. They invited around 60 different content creators from across Bookstagram, BookTube, BookTok, and they brought us all together for a weekend to just celebrate our love of reading. The first night of this trip, we got to go to the HarperCollins publishing offices. Now, I have never actually been to a publishing office before, which is kind of crazy, so this was very cool. This whole thing was coined Shelves and the City, so you're going to see that around a lot. But this opening event, we got to meet each other, there was food, there was drinks, and there were a whole bunch of authors there, so we got to meet the authors, and then, of course, we got to know each other because we were all strangers at the beginning of this trip.
Okay, so I'm trying really hard to vlog every day that I'm here in New York at Shelves in the City. It's been really great. There are so many content creators here. I've gotten to see so many people that I know, meet so many people that I feel like I know because I met them online, but that I'm meeting them here in person. By now, hopefully I've put some things together in this video so you can kind of see everything, but we went to like a welcome party, we got to meet some authors, we got to get some books. Once I'm all done and get back home, I'll do a little book haul to show you everything that I got. And then we had a movie night. So they took us on a bus to the Crosby Hotel, and in the basement there's a movie theater, and we watched Divergent, which I don't think I've ever seen. I feel like I've seen Divergent, but I don't think I've ever seen Divergent. Like, watching it was a wild experience. The whole movie, I was like, what is happening? Like, what is happening, actually? Because the movie is basically about, like, people only have one personality trait, but then actually the people that don't have one personality trait are like ruining society according to the people with one personality trait. It is a wild. I laughed a lot. I feel like I talked a lot. I had a couple drinks before the movie, and then I feel like I talked throughout the movie, which is something I don't normally do. I'm not a talker through the movie, but like I feel like everybody was kind of chit-chatting a little bit because, you know, everybody's seen it. I mean, I don't know if I'd seen it. But I just had so many questions. I feel like nothing was really explained. I feel like the two main characters didn't really have any chemistry. And I feel like the main character specifically didn't really have any... It's funny that supposedly she has all the personality traits, but actually she has no personality whatsoever. Is that crazy? Have you guys seen Divergent? I've for sure never seen any of the other movies. If I've seen it, I've only seen the first one. But it was a wild experience, for sure. But the popcorn was really good, and they also gave us M&Ms, so that was really nice. Today has been a lot. I'm going to be taking video throughout the day tomorrow. We're going to be going to some bookstores, so I'm going to do some little, try and capture some little videos while we're in the bookstore, and then I'll capture more for this vlog. But this has been a really cool experience, and I'm really excited to see more of, I used to live in New York. I don't know if you guys know that, but I lived in New York for about 8 years. I lived in Manhattan for 2 years, and then I lived in Astoria for 6 or 7 years. And so it's always nice to come back and hang out, but I feel like when you're here for a trip like this, it's so elevated, right? Like it just feels so heightened and so glamorous and so fun. So it's a really good time. I would love to show you what I got because they gave us bags. So we got a tote bag and they embroidered it for me. So it says Jason on it. Well, it says JH, if you can read. And this is the Shelves in the City. This is the whole thing. So it's there. It's sponsored by Epic Reads, Avon, and Harper Voyager. I had to throw everything in this one bag, so I got a water bottle. Look at that, isn't that cute? It's metal. I got this hat that says it's a reader thing. That's really cute. I might actually read that. I might actually wear that tomorrow. I got these cookie. I already had one of these, so I'm not going to eat another one. I feel like I've had like a lot of sugar today. A lot of sugar. And I think everything else in this bag. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is like little sticky notes and things from Avon Books, like a little sticky tabby situation. I think that's everything. Oh, and there's this. There's Welcome to NYC. So it's just like some information. At one point, because I wanted to get my bag embroidered, but in order to do that, I had to take everything that they had given us out of the bag that was being embroidered, and I had to put it all into my other bag. So things got a little shifted around and look a little nuts, a little crazy. But yeah, I like this hat. This is cute, right? Like, I could wear this tomorrow. Oh, but I would have to loosen it. I have kind of a fat head. Does anybody else have a fat head? Do you have a fat head? It's a curse. I love wearing hats. I actually really like wearing hats backwards. Like when I did too much too soon. I did too much. I'm shooting with a new camera for this. I'm using the DJI Osmo 3 to shoot this like little vlogging camera. So let me know how the quality is. Do you like it? Oh, see, I'm gonna wear this tomorrow. This is cute. Like, this is a vibe. I like it a lot. I really like ball caps a lot. I wear them when I go to the theme parks quite often. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to tell you today. I'll take more footage tomorrow. I'll take some footage of the bookstores. I'm going to be posting short content about the bookstores as well on TikTok and Instagram, but I want to make something that's more of like a vlog style thing. I have a lot of trips coming up this year for board games and for books, and I really want to make vlogging and doing stuff like this and kind of like just telling you about it as we go, like part of that. I think that'd be really fun, and I really enjoy taking you guys along on these little adventures with me. I just think they're so fun. And I love having you with me because, you know, we're friends. We hang out sometimes. We talk. What am I talking about? I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed, but more to come tomorrow, and we'll pick things up from there. Okay. And if you're watching this, I guess the next thing you'll see will be tomorrow. So I'm gonna sleep, and hopefully the next time you see this face, I look rejuvenated.
The next day, we got up bright and early, so I was not rejuvenated. Our first stop was Cafe Con Libros. This is a coffee shop / bookstore. Now, I will say, there were a lot of us, and there was only one barista, and they were doing their best. But we got to look around the bookshop. It was an absolutely gorgeous day. After that, we went to the Ripped Bodice. Now, this is a mainly fantasy bookstore. I've been to the one in LA before, but this was my first time visiting the one in New York, obviously. This bookstore is gorgeous. I just love the layout of it, and they really do have a ton of romance books, but they also have other stuff. So if you're not into romance, they have other options for you as well. It's not the only thing you can get there. They have a lot of new releases. They have a lot of new authors. They have a lot of indie authors, which I really love. I just loved walking around this bookstore. It was so cool. I especially love their bathroom. This is the same as in LA. They have all of these Post-its around with just like, people have written things on them. It's so fun. I could have stayed there forever, but you know, that would have been weird because it was the bathroom and then people would have thought, I don't know what they would have thought. They also had this really great children's section that I was checking out that just has all kinds of great kids books. I love the Ripped Bodice. This was such a great experience to get to visit this store. Definitely bigger than their LA location. So it was great. And then after that, we headed over to Books Are Magic, which is another little bookstore here in Brooklyn. And they had this amazing mural outside. Of course, everybody had to take pictures in front of it because it was just gorgeous. And inside of this place, this is more of like your traditional bookstore. So they had a lot of contemporary fiction. They had all kinds of different sections. I really liked in the back of this bookstore, they had a whole different area where it like went down some stairs into an area where they had like young adult, children's books. I really liked that it was separated, and it honestly was a little bit quieter than the main area of the store. So I really enjoyed going back there and just spending some time just like chilling and relaxing and breathing because the store, you know, there were a lot of us, so it was very busy. So after that, we went to Bibliothèque. This is a really cool place. This place is like a wine bar / bookstore, and they had a wine tasting set up for us. And what I learned is that I know nothing about wine. They had all of these fun little questions for us to answer, and we were split up into teams. It was a very fun experience. The wine was delicious. Our team did not win, and I think that's partially because I thought I knew more about wine than I did, which I know nothing about wine, but this was such a fun way to spend the afternoon.
So from there, I believe that was when we came back to the hotel, and some people wanted to like go out, but I took a nap because naps are important and sleep is important, and I was exhausted. And last night we went, I forget the name of the bar, and I don't really have a lot of video or picture because I decided just to leave my filming equipment at home and just enjoy the evening with people. And we went to like a rooftop party, and then there was like a nice moment where we got to go into this area and there was like dancing and there was friendship bracelet making. So I made one that says, you can kind of see here, it says door smut. So if you see my video where I talk about Unhinged, the book that's about like a woman at a door, I thought that'd be cute. And then I got one from, this event was hosted by Epic Reads, as well as Avon Books and Harper Voyager, and somebody had left and made an Epic Reads bracelet and left it on the table. And I was like, that's so cute. And it's like very much it's like a cute little keepsake from this trip. So I was like, I'm going to take that because nobody else had claimed it yet. And we were like on our way out. And I was like, just take that for me. Oh, and then when we got back to the hotel, we went and we got Insomnia cookies, which I love. It was a block and a half from the hotel. So I was like, a bunch of people were like, we're going to the club. And I was like, who wants to go get cookies? And so we got a little group of people together and we went and we got cookies. And then we came back to the hotel and played a board game. So that was super fun. And it was like very much more my I do, as much of an introvert as I am, I do enjoy like gatherings of people, but I love, going for like a walk with people. I love discussion with people. I love walking with people, and we got to like walk and talk and get these cookies. And I love board games specifically because I feel like there's something about putting people around a table and having them face each other and then engage in a way that if somebody doesn't want to like talk or doesn't want to like share, they don't have to. They're still engaging with each other in this like really fun way. And it brings people together that I think sometimes are nervous to be brought together. And I think it helps kind of bridge that gap between people. And so I just love board games in that way. I think board games are such an excellent way for people who are more introverted to find connection with people. And also board games are this very like tactile experience. There's things to touch and feel and see, and everybody's trying to figure it out, and everybody's kind of in it together. And so I love them for that. And so I was really happy that we got to play a game on this trip because I brought a couple, and I was like, maybe we'll get to play, maybe we won't. But it was really nice to be able to play something with other people. And then we went to bed, and here we are next morning. I've already showered. I've already gotten ready. I'm about to head down for brunch. I'm finishing packing. This has been a really incredible trip. I'm sure once I've woken up some more and I do the conclusion of this video where I show you the books I got and kind of discuss everything, I'll let you know. But not a lot of, I don't think any publisher has ever done something on this scale before, at least not that I'm aware of, in the US anyway, of bringing 60 bookish content creators together to take them on a tour of the city, let them see their offices, get them excited about what they're doing. And I think it's really, really special. I've seen a lot of companies, both publishers, but also just like big bookstores that have been really impacted by the influence of Book Talk, but also BookTube and Bookstagram, and this like reinvigoration of reading from an online space. And I feel like they reap the benefits, but they don't really care about the people that gave them those benefits. And so it was really cool of HarperCollins to be like, these are the people that are like shaping the future of the book industry and telling people what they love to read and getting excited about books and sharing about books, and like, let's do something special for them. Let's gather them together. It was really magical. It was a really magical weekend. I'm gonna get emotional. Oh my God, get it together. It's early. Let me have some water. But it was a really, really beautiful weekend, and it was really lovely. It's so interesting. You see people online all the time, and then when you meet them in person, it's like, oh my God, you're in 3 dimensions. You have legs. And it's so magical to meet people that you have a connection with online, and then realize that not only, there are people I met on this trip that I knew I liked their content, but now I know that I like them. Because we hung out, and I realized, wow, you're just delightful. You're just lovely. And there is not a single person I met on this trip that wasn't like just an absolutely delightful human being. Everybody was wonderful. There was not a bad egg in the bunch. Like, it was just such a fantastic group of people. Even people I met that, we didn't know each other. Like, I didn't know their content. They didn't know my content. We met for the first time here. Even those people were incredibly lovely. And I think that's just, I think it's crazy that something like books, which are so varied and so different, and there are so many different tastes in books, can bring people, books which are such a solitary experience, right? Like when you read a book, it's something you're doing all by yourself. But books, that solitary experience can bring people together in this just incredible way. I thought it was really special. And I'm really, really happy that that HarperCollins, and specifically, like I said earlier, Epic Reads, Avon Books, and Harper Voyager decided to do this, because I hope it pays off for them. I hope it is an experiment that they say, wow, we want to keep doing this because this was really cool, and this did exactly what we hoped it would, because it was a truly genuine, heartfelt, lovely experience. And I would love to do more things like this. And I know it's easy to say, like, I would love to go on more brand trips. Well, obviously, but I would love to just spend more time with bookish people. I think it's just, especially this bookish community online. I talked about this with BookNet Fest, which I went to last month, which there's just something special about getting people who love literature in a room and letting them talk and get to know each other. It brings out this just really cool feeling. And I feel like if you looked around, you could just see everyone's souls glowing because it was such a beautiful moment. Anyway, I'm crying now, so that's your fault. Not my fault. You made me talk about it, and you kept asking questions, and then, here we are now. See, like, I'm actually tearing up because it was just such a great weekend. Okay, I have to finish packing. I have to go down for brunch. I'm starving. I don't think I ate a lot. I know I drank a lot yesterday, but I don't think I ate a lot yesterday. So I'm gonna get some water in me. I'm gonna get some food in me. I'm gonna finish packing, and then I'm gonna get ready to eat some brunch, and then I'm gonna go back to Orlando. And I'll do a wrap up right after this so that you can see the books that I got, and we'll just have a closing out of this whole experience. But it was really cool, and it was a really good weekend. It was really great to be back in New York, and I'll be back here again in October, which is right around the corner. So, okay. Talk soon. Actually, probably talk in like 2 seconds when I wrap up this video. Okay, let's go.
Welcome back. Wow, so much fun was had. I still haven't watched any of that footage as of this moment. I literally stopped the camera from the beginning of the video and started it again, and now here we are. So I hope that was enjoyable for enjoyable for you. I hope that was enjoyable for you. It's amazing that I make a living reading and talking about books because I can't use words to save my whole life. Okay, so at the first night event, they gave us a box, and there were authors there signing, but then they also had other books that we could take, and they basically said, you can take whatever fits in your box, and as you can tell, my box is very full. I made things fit, even when they like, your box is full, and I was like, it's not full yet. You don't know me, and I kept filling. So I'm going to show you this. First, let me show you the two books. Oh my God. Let me show you the two books that I purchased, okay? So one is this. This is called Martyr. I believe this is contemporary fiction. It just sounded really good. I got it at Books or Magic, and it is a signed... It is a signed copy. It sounds very depressing, to be honest, but I love a depressing book, and it sounded very moving. It sounded very lyrical. I've seen a couple of reviewers that I really trust talk about this and say that they really enjoyed it, so I decided to pick that up. And then I also picked up this. This is actually going to be the Easy Cats Book Club book for July. This is called The Stardust Grail. I picked this up at... I want to say at the Ripped Bodice. Yeah, I got this at the Ripped Bodice. I don't think it's a romance book, though. I got it because a bunch of other creators were telling me it was really good. It's supposed to be like the concept, you know how museums like to basically steal stuff from other cultures and other places in the world and then like put it on display, but a lot of it is actually stolen from that stuff's like homeland or like place of origin. So this is like that concept, but in space. And I picked this up to look at it, and when I tell you, like, 4 people were like, oh my God, that's so good. It's so good. You have to read it. Oh my God. And so I was like, whoa, okay. So I got it, and then I immediately made it my July book club pick because it just sounded really good. And when that many, like, bookish content creators, bookish reviewers are telling you that something is good, and they were all like people that I trust. It wasn't just like randos. It was like people that I know, that I've followed forever, that I trust their reviews. I've had really good experience with like picking up stuff they recommended. And they were all just like head over heels for this book. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get this. All right. So now let's see what I got in my box. In my box of books. Let's see. I have my little sword here to open it. I don't think I taped this because this is taped fairly well. And when I tape boxes, I tape like a crazy person. So, don't mind me just stabbing this tape. Let me in. Let me have my books, please. Oh my God. Goodness. Oh, I wrote my name on it. So after you got all your books, you had to write your name on the box so that they knew whose was whose. I don't remember getting any of these. Okay, great. So this is the first thing I got. This one was not signed. This is I Hope This Finds You Well. It's by Natalie Sue. I don't know anything about this, but look at the cover. I really liked the cover. Let's see here. In this wildly funny and heartwarming office comedy, an admin worker accidentally gains access to her colleagues' private emails and DMs and decides to use this intel to save her job. I mean, that sounds great. I liked the cover, and I'd seen this. I know why I picked this up. I'd seen this in Barnes & Noble at one point, and I almost bought it, but then I ended up not because I was already getting some other stuff. And then when they were like, here are free books, I was like, oh, I almost bought this before, so I'm going to get it. So got that. Next up here, hold on. Oh, I got this. So this is signed. This is Pride and Premonition. Pride and Premeditation. I can't read. And this is, the author was there. This is a paperback. I actually have a hardback version of this, but like it's not signed. So I got this one that is signed. This is the first in a series, and I think they're like murder mysteries. But you know, set in like a Pride and Prejudice type world. It sounded really good. I will say part of the reason I thought I would get this signed is this is going to be, this is on my bookshelf. So if you've been following my like reading through my bookshelf series, I will eventually be reading this as part of that series. So I was like, why not have a signed copy of it, right? fun. This is Looking for Smoke. This, I believe, I think the big reason I got this was because it had Indigenous representation, which is a type of representation I feel like is sorely lacking on my shelf. I have some, but I'm always looking for more. And so I picked this up, not really knowing much about it other than the representation and the author. And it just, I think it's like a kind of supposed to be like a thriller. Despite deep in her powerful debut, K.A. Kobel weaves loss, betrayal, and complex characters into a mystery that will illuminate, surprise, and engage readers until the final word. I mean, I love a good mystery. I really like the cover, so I picked this up. This was not signed. This was just on the take it and put it in your box table. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. So this is like an uncorrected proof of Immortal, which is the new book from Su Lin Tan, who wrote Heart of the Sun Warrior and that other book that I really like that I can't think of the name of it now. Oh my God. Well, if you know Su Lin Tan, you know the books that she writes. And this takes place in the same world, but with different characters. This is not even the final cover. This is like an uncorrected proof. So I think I got the last one of these. I saw someone else getting one and I was like, hello, can I have one of those? Because I really, really liked those books. And so I was like very excited about this. So this is like, I'm going to have to read this at some point. I don't think this is coming out until later this year. On sale, next year, January of 2025. So we're real far out. But this is like the thing that I was like I was like, give me that. I was very excited for this. And I'm very excited to read it. So put that there. Okay, this got a little banged up on the road. So this is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I've never read this. I've actually never read anything from Talia Hibbert, but I know people rave about this book. People love this book. And when I picked this up and I waved it around the room and I was like, do I need to read this? And everybody in the room was like, yes! So that's always a good sign. And I've heard really good things. This is a romance, I believe. But I've heard really good things about it. So I'm excited to now own a copy so I can read it. And I can finally read something by Talia Hibbert, which truthfully I've put off for too long, I do believe. Okay, so I got a copy of The Hurricane Wars. Now, I'm pretty sure this is like Raylo fanfic, but like turned into a book. I'm going to be honest, I picked this up and I was like, do I need this? And several people were like, no. But I still wanted it because when this came out, I was like very interested in it and I love the cover. But someone told me that if I am a fan of Star Wars and that if I know the roots of where the story is coming from, that I actually will enjoy it a lot more than if I'm someone who doesn't really know Star Wars, doesn't really know like Raylo, like all of that stuff. That if I know where the story is coming from, I'm going to like it more because apparently it doesn't do a whole lot of like lore or world building. Kind of relies on you already kind of knowing the vibe. And I do know the vibe, and I like stuff that is like Star Wars adjacent. So, you know what? I might like it, right? Like, we'll see. I think the cover is gorgeous, so I'm interested to check it out. So I'm still very excited to check it out. And I don't know, books that are contentious, like books that like some people love and some people hate. Sometimes I love that because I've talked about this before. When everybody loves a book or everybody hates a book, I'm less excited about reading it because I feel like how I'm supposed to feel about the book has already like been predetermined by the social media sphere. So when something has like a very mixed review, it actually excites me more because I feel like I really get to have my own opinion, my own take on it. And I really like that. So, yeah. This I did get signed. This is Fire in the Sky. If this is the one I remember, I think this is like dragon shapeshifters. Like, I think this was described to me like kind of like dragon animorph type things. If I remember right. The wedding begins unexpected. This is romantasy. And this is dragons are extinct, witches are outcast, magic is dying, but human lust for power is immortal. I don't know. I talked to the author about this, and it just sounded really fun and very romantic, or like very, very spicy. She signed it for me. That's so nice of her. This book, if I recall, also has like I don't know if I could do this on camera very well, but it has like a flip book thing in the bottom corner that's like Animorph style of like a human turning into a dragon. I can't do it on the camera, but like, do you remember Animorphs when you would flip through the book, you'd see the human turning into the animal? So this does that with a human turning into a dragon, which is so fun. I love that. Okay. I got this. This is Catherine House. This is a gothic-infused debut of literary suspense set within a secluded elite university. Oh, I got this because it's got like dark academia vibes. I remember now. And following a dangerously curious, rebellious undergraduate who uncovers a shocking secret about an exclusive circle of students and the dark truth beneath her school's promise of prestige. Okay, so this is called Catherine House. This is like dark academia. It sounded really creepy. It sounded like a thriller. And the author was delightful, which is like, you know, and just like, look at that. And a bunch of them said like, thanks for the sales points, because I was going around like, and they would give me their pitch, and some of them were like newer authors. So then I would turn the pitch into like something like really ridiculous to like convince everybody else in the room that they needed to pick up the book as well. I've had a couple drinks. Did I mention that? I was in a place. But this sounded really good, and it just sounded like very like kind of creepy and eerie and vibey, and so I was into that. Okay. Oh, I love this cover. Okay, so this is Champion of Fate by, is it Kendare Blake? So this is, I don't remember. Behind, they gave me these like tarot cards as like bookmarks. How fun is that? I don't really remember what this was about, but I love the cover, and I remember being like, and this is definitely going to be YA because it's from Epic Reads. I remember being really excited when I picked this up, and the author was just absolutely lovely, and so this was also signed Champion of Fate. I just love the cover. I think it's just stunning. Wait. It's come back to me. I think this is supposed to be kind of like Wonder Woman-esque, like kind of the idea of like going through a trial to become like an Amazon, like kind of that type of vibe through this. So I remember it. That's why I was excited about this, because I love stuff that's kind of like Wonder Woman-ish. Okay, I already own this book. This is Blackout. This is an anthology. It takes place in New York on a night where like the electricity goes out, and you follow different characters as they're experiencing this blackout. But all the authors are Black authors. So you've got Daniel Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon. And Daniel Clayton, who I really enjoyed her middle grade series, actually, is how I discovered her. She signed the book for me. I got this mainly just to have a signed copy of it. And also the copy I have is hardback, and this is a nice paperback, and I just really like it. So I love this book. I think it's really good, and it's a very fast read. Like when I first got this, I read it in a day because it's just like really nice. And I am not a big anthology fan. Like I typically avoid anthologies like the plague, but I loved this because it does have this nice through line where everything is like kind of connected, even though it's written by different authors. I liked this a lot. So if you haven't read this, I highly recommend it. I think that's the only one that I've read, maybe. Well, kind of. I'll mention the other one. So Realmbreaker, Victoria Aveyard was there, and I've read Realmbreaker, but I read it when it first came out. I don't remember a single thing that happened in it. But we are going to be doing yellow books soon on my bookshelf reading project. So I'm actually going to probably be reading this trilogy in the next month or so. So it seemed worth it to get a signed copy of it. I have it in hardback. And truth be told, when I buy the other ones, if I read this and decide I'm going to read the whole trilogy for bookshelf, for shelf control, I'll probably buy them in hardback. But like, who doesn't want a signed copy of something from Victoria Aveyard? Absolutely, give me that. So I'm really excited to read through this whole trilogy because I probably will be doing, let's just be honest, I'm probably going to read through the whole trilogy. And that should happen in July based on where I am on the bookshelf right now. Okay, these are both by the same person, but they use two different names to write their books, like because they have like different vibes. And so they have one that I think is like a pen name and one that is not. So this is Banyan Moon, which is... This had to do with like spanning decades and continents from Vietnam to the wild swamplands of Florida. This is like a multi-generational kind of story. And then this is Adam and Evie's matchmaking tour. So this is more like a rom-com type thing. And, it's like, all those vibes. So they're very different books. The author was so lovely. I know I've said that a lot, but like all the authors that were there were just delightful humans. And so both of these sounded really good. And I loved the fact that they were from the same person but were so different. That was really cool to me. So I picked up both of these. And then two more. Oh, I got a pin. This pin says YA all day. You can't see it when I hold it close because I'm using my camera, so you can't see it, but it's a little book pin. It's super cute. I got a signed copy of A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. Now, I've never actually ever read anything by Ava Reed, but one of my friends, Zoran, she loves Ava Reed, so I was like, maybe this is my sign to finally read Ava Reed, and I've heard A Study in Drowning is really good. I actually think I do have a copy of this from Alcrate, but it's not this cover, and it's not signed with my name in it, so I needed this one too, right? Obviously. And then last but not least, okay, so I really like Peng Shepherd's work. I've read The Cartographers, and I read, was it called House of M? Not House of M. The Book of M, is that what it's called? The one that's about like Mary, Jesus's mom. Both of those books were excellent. And this, I think, is supposed to be like kind of choose your own adventure-ish. I don't know if that's true, but that's what someone was telling me. So this is called All This and More by Peng Shepherd. I've really enjoyed everything I've read from Peng Shepherd so far. So when they were like, oh, this is Peng Shepherd's new book, I was like, well, obviously I need that. Got it signed. I don't know if it's actually, oh yeah, it is like a choose your own adventure type book, I think. I think that's how it works. That sounds like a choose your own adventure for adults. That sounds really cool. I might have to move this up on my reading list because that sounds really amazing. And now I'm like very excited to check that out. That's everything I got. So I actually only bought 2 books, but then everything else was stuff that they just like threw at me. I was forced against my will to take all these books. No, I was not. I just want to say a final thank you to, I've already talked about this a lot on my other channels. I'm sure I've talked about, you saw in my video where I was talking about this. Surely I made some content in some of that talked about how amazing this experience was. But to Harper, Voyager, Epic Reads, Avon Books, it was just such a joy to get this experience. I'm so grateful. Meeting these other content creators was just also so amazing. So many people that I have so much love and respect for, who I just think are doing amazing things with their content. I also met a lot of people that I'd never met before. I ended up following a whole bunch of new people that I'd never seen their content before, and I thought that was really cool because now I'm getting to see their content for the first time. I think it's pretty amazing to take 60 people who have, for the most part, never met before. There were some of us who had met before or who had talked online before at least. But really, it was like 60 people who had never met before. The only thing we had in common was that we love books, and put us all together and then just find so much joy. Like every single person was just such a joy to get to speak to and get to know. And everyone was just so kind and open and generous and loving and caring. And there were hugs and there were tears and there were smiles and there was so much laughter. And it really reminds me just how much I love the book community. I don't need reminded of that. I know I love the book community. I'm in the book community every single day talking about books and my love of books. But there's something about getting that community in person and just realizing how much love there is. And it just feels like a family. It felt like these were people that, a lot of these people I was meeting for the very first time, and it felt like we all had known each other our entire lives. And this was like a reunion. Like that's what it felt like. And yet a lot of us were perfect strangers at the beginning of the weekend. And now we're all texting, we're all friends. And it just was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. And I just feel so grateful for that opportunity to get to spend a weekend with these incredibly beautiful, wonderful humans. It was a delight. It was so great. And of course, I lived in New York for several years. I'll be back there later this year as well. So getting to go back to New York and visit is great. Getting to see the bookstores is great. Getting to eat New York food, always great. I love New York food. So it just was a wonderful weekend, and I am so grateful that I got it. And thank you so much for watching this and going on that little adventure with me, and also helping me unbox this box of books, because now I have to figure out where I'm going to put all these because I don't have space. But I'll figure it out. You know what? I'll figure it out. I'll make room. It'll be fine. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope your life here in June, I hope you've had a good June. I hope you're reading something wonderful. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.